Hey everyone, and a huge shout out to all our UPSC aspirants out there. You know who you are. Tuning in for their daily dose of current affairs. It's like we're all part of this exclusive club, right?
Absolutely. Keeping up with the world, one deep dive at a time.
Exactly. And today we're tackling a topic that's been buzzing in the news and might even pop up on your UPSC exams, the AI arms race.
Ah, yes, AI, the field that just keeps on giving.
Right. It seems like every day there's a new breakthrough, a new headline. And ever since ChatGPT kind of exploded onto the scene,
It's been a wild ride.
it really has. It feels like everyone and their tech-savvy grandma is suddenly trying to reach this holy grail of AI. You know what I'm talking about, AGI.
Artificial general intelligence, the ultimate goal, right? Creating AI that can truly think like a human.
Exactly. And it's not just some sci-fi fantasy anymore. It's shaping investment strategies, driving research. It's even influencing global power dynamics.
It's definitely a game changer, and that's what we're going to unpack today.
Yeah. So in this deep dive, we're going to take a closer look at the AI landscape, figure out who the major players are, what their game plans are, and maybe, just maybe, we'll try to predict who might come out on top.
Sounds like a plan.
And for all you UPSC folks out there, remember, this isn't just some abstract tech stuff.
Hmm.
This is about understanding the forces that are shaping the world. It's about power, global influence, and potentially even the future of, well, everything.
It's the kind of stuff that could easily make an appearance on your mains exam.
Exactly. Now, we've been digging into a fascinating article from the Indian Express. You should definitely check it out for yourself for a deeper dive. But for now, let's kick things off by talking about the big players in this AI showdown, the heavyweights, so to speak.
All right, let's start with the most obvious one, Google. They've been investing in machine learning for years now.
Yeah, they were kind of ahead of the curve on this whole AI thing, weren't
Oh, absolutely. And they have this massive advantage because of their infrastructure.
they? Right. Just think about all the data they have, from Google search to Gmail to Android.
Hmm.
It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet for AI.
Exactly. And they're not just hoarding data, they're actually using it, weaving AI into almost everything they do, from search algorithms to, like you said, self-driving cars. It's like they're building an AI-powered ecosystem.
So Google's going for this broad integrated approach. Okay, then we've got OpenAI, the folks behind ChatGPT.
Ah, yes, the rock stars of the AI world right now.
Right. They've been making headlines with their GPT models,
Mm.
pushing the boundaries of what AI can do. But their path to, actually making money from all of this, it's not exactly clear yet, is it?
That's what makes OpenAI so interesting. They seem laser focused on achieving AGI, even if it means, burning through cash in the short term. And their partnership with Microsoft, that's giving them some serious muscle.
Financially, for sure. And in terms of reaching a wider audience, too, so OpenAI is kind of playing this high-risk, high-reward game, betting big on AGI. What about Meta? They've been a little quiet on the AI front, haven't they?
Meta might not be making as much noise as OpenAI, but they're definitely making moves. They've got these llama models that are gaining some traction. But their approach to AI is a bit different. They're not directly selling AI products like OpenAI is.
So how are they using AI then?
Well, the real AI power lies in their recommendation systems, the algorithms that decide what you see on your Facebook and Instagram feeds.
Oh, so they're using AI to keep us glued to social media.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Clever, isn't it?
Clever, yeah, but also kind of creepy when you
Oh.
think about it. Okay, but there's a fourth player we need to talk about. And this one's kind of a curveball, DeepSeek. It's a Chinese startup that's kind of shaking things up.
DeepSeek is fascinating because they're getting really impressive results with a much more efficient approach. They're challenging the idea that you need tons of resources and mountains of data to build powerful AI.
So they're kind of like the David going up against the AI Goliaths.
In a way, yeah. And this could have huge implications, especially for countries that might not have the same resources as, say, the US or China.
So DeepSeek could be a game changer, especially for emerging economies. Now, let's talk about what's fueling this whole AI race: money. These tech giants are pouring billions into AI research and development.
Oh, yeah, the money flowing into AI is mind-boggling. Like, Amazon has committed over $100 billion for AI workloads on their cloud platform, AWS.
Wow, 100 billion. That's like a whole lot of zeros.
It is, and Microsoft is right behind them, investing heavily in data centers to support their AI ambitions. Even Google and Meta, even though they have different approaches, are still pumping billions into expanding their AI initiatives.
It's like they're betting that AI is going to reshape everything, right? And they're not afraid to spend big to make it happen. But here's the thing that I keep wondering about: is all this investment actually turning into, actual profit? Or are we looking at like an AI bubble that's about to go poof?
That's the big question, isn't it? Yeah, turning AI innovation into cold, hard cash. It's still a challenge for a lot of these companies. Microsoft, for example, they are making money from their AI products, but a lot of those gains are being eaten up by the cost of actually running those AI systems. All those GPUs, the infrastructure, it's not cheap.
So it's not as easy as build it and they will pay, huh?
Nope, definitely not. And Meta, they're in a similar boat, actually. Their recommendation systems, those are making money for sure. But those LMA models we were talking about, those are still in the, spend money to make money phase.
It's a tricky balance, isn't it? Trying to stay ahead in the AI race, but also figure out how to actually make it a sustainable business.
It really is. It's like walking a tightrope.
Speaking of walking a tightrope, there's one company that seems to be doing it with a smile,
Ah,
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA. Yeah, they're kind of the unsung heroes of this whole AI boom, aren't they?
Well, maybe not so unsung anymore. I mean, their stock price is doing pretty well for itself. But they're GPUs. They're the workhorses behind all these crazy powerful AI systems, and the demand through the roof.
Yeah, they're definitely reaping the rewards of this AI gold rush. No doubt about that.
All right, so we've got the big tech companies, Google, Microsoft, Meta, they're all in, right? But then you've got companies like OpenAI and Anthropic. They seem to be more focused on like the research side of things, pushing the boundaries of what AI can do. Maybe not so worried about turning a profit right this second. Do you think they're on a sustainable path?
It's an interesting question. OpenAI and Anthropic, they're burning through cash to train these incredibly advanced models, but they haven't really cracked the code on, making consistent profits. And then there's a whole issue of commoditization.
Commoditization.
Yeah, like open source AI models, they're becoming more powerful and easier to get your hands on, which could make things tricky for companies that rely on these proprietary models like ChatGPT.
So the pressure's on for them to figure out how to cash in on their innovations before the market shifts. Which brings us back to the million-dollar question. Who's going to win this whole AI arms race? Is it just about like whoever gets to AGI first?
Well, if it were that simple, right? The answer is a bit more complicated than that. Different players have different strengths, different strategies. OpenAI and Anthropic, they're all in on AGI. They think cracking that code is going to unlock, well, pretty much everything.
So for them, it's AGI or bust.
Pretty much. But then you've got the big guys like Google, Meta, Amazon. They're playing a different game. They're not just focused on building, the single most powerful AI model. They're using their existing ecosystems, all those users, all that data they collect, and their products that are already out there.
So it's like they're integrating AI into what they've already built instead of starting from scratch.
Exactly, weaving it into the fabric of their business. It's a much more, interwoven approach and probably more resilient in the long run. It means they can diversify their revenue streams and benefit from AI in lots of different areas, even if, AGI takes longer than they expect.
It's like they're playing the long game, hedging their bets a little bit.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to something we talked about earlier, China. DeepSeek was a good example, but what about their overall AI strategy? They're known for moving quickly and playing the long game themselves.
Yeah, China's definitely a force to be reckoned with in the AI world. They've made it clear they want to be the global leader in AI, and, well, they're making some serious progress towards that goal. Their approach is pretty interesting, actually, driven by a bunch of different factors.
So what's fueling China's AI engine, so to speak?
Well, for one thing, their government can make decisions and implement AI policies really quickly. It's a centralized system, which means they can be super agile in a field that's constantly changing, like AI.
Less red tape, more action. That definitely makes a difference. What else?
They also have access to huge amounts of data. And data, well, it's basically the lifeblood of AI. Their approach to data privacy is a bit different than a lot of Western countries, which gives their AI companies a big advantage when it comes to training their models.
Data is AI fuel, so that makes sense. Anything else in their arsenal?
Oh, yeah. The Chinese government is investing heavily in AI research and development. They see AI as a key driver of economic growth and national security. They've launched these ambitious initiatives and are pouring money into building a really strong AI ecosystem.
So they're putting their money where their AI is.
Exactly. And let's not forget their focus on STEM education. They're training a whole new generation of AI experts who will be driving innovation for years to come. It's a pretty comprehensive strategy, all designed to make them a leader in the AI revolution.
It sounds like they're not messing around. How's the U.S. responding to all of this?
The U.S. is definitely paying attention. They've launched this thing called the Stargate Project. It's a massive initiative, something like $500 billion, all aimed at boosting AI infrastructure and research in the U.S. They're investing in things like quantum computing, high-performance computing, and, yeah, making sure they have the talent to stay competitive.
So it's a head-to-head race, U.S. versus China, vying for AI supremacy. Man, this is getting intense. For our UPST folks out there, this isn't just a tech story. This is geopolitics in action.
Oh, absolutely. If you want to understand international relations, global economics, even national security, you need to understand what's happening in the AI world.
All right, let's bring it back to our listeners for a minute. We've talked about a lot today. Key players, strategies, the money involved, and some pretty serious geopolitical tensions. Where does it all leave us? Who's going to come out on top as the, AI superpower?
Wouldn't it be nice if we had a crystal ball for that? The AI landscape is changing so fast, and the race is far from over.
So, no clear winner yet. But the competition is definitely heating up. What should our UPSC folks be thinking about as they try to make sense of all this? What are the, key takeaways here?
Well, I think the first thing to remember is that this whole AI race, it's not a sprint, it's more like a marathon.
Okay, so we're in it for the long haul.
Exactly. There are going to be twists and turns, probably some surprises along the way, some stumbles too. And it's not just about who hits a certain milestone first, but who can keep going, adapt to the changes and really figure out how to make AI a part of their overall strategy.
So it's about building a super AI-powered country.
Yeah. You got it. And for all those UPSC aspirants listening, this raises some pretty big questions for India. How do we fit into this whole global AI race? What are we good at? What are our weaknesses? Should we focus on building our own AI champions, or should we work with the big players out there? These are the things that our policymakers are thinking about right now. So if you want to shape India's future, you got to understand this stuff.
That's a lot for our UPSC folks to chew on. It's not just about the tech. It's about, strategy policy, India's place in the world. Now, before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier, DeepSeek and their efficient approach to AI development. Remember, they're getting great results without all the massive resources that Google and Microsoft have. What happens if that becomes the norm? What if you don't need to be a tech giant to make a real impact in AI?
That's a really interesting question, and it could completely change the future of AI. If DeepSeek's approach works on a larger scale and it's sustainable, it could mean that AI development becomes more democratic. Smaller player startups, even developing countries, could have a much bigger role in shaping the AI landscape.
It'd be like the early days of the internet when, a couple people in a garage could create something revolutionary.
Exactly. It could totally level the playing field.
Make things a lot more interesting. Now, we can't talk about all this without mentioning the ethical side of AI, right?
Right. AI is getting more powerful all the time, more widespread, and we have to think about what that means for society, for jobs, for privacy, even for what it means to be human.
Big questions.
Huge. And these aren't just issues for one country to solve. We all need to be working together on this.
It's a whole new world of challenges and opportunities, and it's happening right now. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the AI arms race. We've covered a lot of ground today, the key players, the strategies, the money, the geopolitics. But like always, the conversation doesn't end here. We want to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on the AI arms race? What should India's role be? Head over to the comments and let us know. And UPSC folks, this is prime essay material. Start thinking critically about what AI means for India's future, its economy, its security, its place in the world. Oh, and don't forget to check out that Indian Express article that started all this. The link is in the episode description.
It's a great place to start if you want to explore this topic some more.
Absolutely. Big thanks to our expert for being here today. And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and stay curious.